This is no time to be slap burns. These floors have got to be cleaned, and use plenty of disinfectant.
Yes, Miss Bennett.
Baxter, I told you to stay out of here. Now get a move on. Baxter, I said get back where you belong. Now come on, get a move on. Move!
B? B? Oh, somebody's got to help me.
Dora?
Oh, Jude, thank God. What am I going to do? I gave Mrs. Morris some of that stuff and now I'm scared she's going to die.
She's just sleeping, that's all.
No, I gave her some of Evelyn's medicine and she's got sicker. The doctor says she's critical.
Gave her a shot, that's all. Just gave her a shot.
No, Jude, you don't understand. See, it's Mrs. Morris I'm talking about. I gave her this stuff.
Mrs. Morris is in hospital.
Oh, no, Jude.
You sure that stuff's all right?
Of course I'm sure. I took it. Look how much better I am.
Yeah. Certainly had me worried the way she was thrashing around like that before.
Oh, I told you not to worry. Look at her now.
Yeah. Certainly looks a lot better now.
Lizzie.
How you feeling, Mrs. M?
Better, Lizzie. I feel a bit weak, but I'll be all right.
Good on you, Mrs. M. Oh, you did have us worried. You were a real crook. But Evie, she fixed you. She probably saved your life.
Hey! Hey, who is it? In here!
Somebody answer me!
Oh, for heaven's sake, Hamilton, keep it down. What's all this row about?
Thank God. I thought you'd forgotten I was here.
You're not the only one in this prison, you know.
When am I getting out?
Out? You've only been in here 5 minutes.
Oh, yes, but you see, I explained why I did it, and I gave my word that it wouldn't happen again.
You think they'd let you out because of that? This is a prison, Hamilton, not a school. And it takes a little bit more than the word of a criminal to change things.
Oh, Miss Bennett, I'm not a criminal.
Everyone inside's a criminal. You were the one who tried to escape, and you've got no one to blame but yourself. And if you keep up with this nonsense, maybe you can go without lunch.
Lunch? Where was it prepared?
Look, I haven't got time to stand around here all day. In case you hadn't noticed, half the people in this block are sick. Now, do you want lunch or not?
Well, that's why I want to know where it was prepared.
We aren't going to specially cater for you, Hamilton. Either you eat what we eat or you don't eat at all. Now, which is it?
Yes, I better not. I don't want to risk it.
Oh, well, you've had your chance.
Well, I don't want to eat anything that's been prepared in here.
It wasn't prepared in here. It was brought in from outside.
Oh, well, then I said, Miss Bennett, I didn't know that!
Quiet, you can do without dinner as well. Anything wrong?
Well, Mrs. Morris, obviously you're much better. The antibiotics must be taking effect at last.
Antibiotics, nothing. It was Evie's medicine that done it.
Oh, now, Lizzie, I think the doctor knows a bit more about this than you do.
Well, you got proof right in front of you.
Proof?
Yeah, Mrs. Morris is better and so is Evie, and they both had some of her medicine.
Is this true? Were you given anything after I left?
I can't remember. Everything's sort of a haze.
Of course it is. She was too sick to know, but I seen her take it myself.
Dr. Granger, you surely must admit now that I am not a fake. I did cure Mrs. Morris and myself.
It was more likely the antibiotics.
Oh, no, Mrs. Morris didn't get any better after the antibiotics. It was only after she took my mixture that she improved. And if you remember, I did not have any antibiotics at all. Now, do I look sick?
She got you there, Doc.
And are any of the others getting any better? No, they aren't, are they? You don't know what to do for them. Well, you give me the chance, and I will have every one of them cured within 24 hours.
All right, show me this miracle drug of yours.
Oh, no. You let me give it to them, and that should be proof enough.
You know I can't do that. Even if I could, I wouldn't take the chance. I'd advise you to stop filling these gullible people with such rubbish.
Why didn't you show it to him?
He wouldn't understand it, Lizzie. He certainly wouldn't treat anybody with it. The only thing would be if he would allow me to actually use it. Then he'd see. They all would.
Maybe he would have tried it. And if the others don't get any of that stuff, they might die.
Well, if anybody dies, it'll be on his conscience, not mine.
You will keep us informed if you manage to find her, won't you? Thank you. Goodbye. Well, there's still no word of Jenny Armstrong. Let's hope she's not spreading the disease wherever she goes.
Well, I brought you some good news for a change. Mrs. Morris seems to be through the worst of it.
Oh, that's wonderful. Then your treatment is beginning to work.
Well, I certainly hope so. By the way, you haven't given Evelyn Randall permission to practice her witchcraft on the women, have you?
Well, certainly not. I wouldn't risk it. Why do you ask?
It's just that she's claiming she gave Mrs. Morris some of her medicine and took some herself.
Do you believe her?
Well, the other woman in the hospital backs up her story, Mrs. Wordsworth.
Lizzie. Well, if what they say is true, could there be any harm in it?
Perhaps not. They both seem well enough. The thing is, they're both claiming there was no improvement until Mrs. Randall's treatment. Of course, Mrs. Morris did have a broad-spectrum antibiotic.
And Randall?
Well, she refused the injection, claims she just used her own treatment, or so she says. Of course, her improvement was probably a coincidence. She was pretty strong to begin with, and diseases do affect people differently. I'm sure there's nothing to it.
G'day, Dor. Is that for us? Beauty!
Oh, Mrs. Morris, you're all right. Oh, God, I was real scared. I thought you were going to die.
I'm much better, thanks, Doreen.
Come on, Dor, we're going to get it or not? Best part about all this is we don't have to eat all that muck from the kitchen. God, this is cold too.
What's she looking so surprised about? I told you she'd get better if you gave her my medicine.
Are you the one who gave it to me, Doreen?
Yeah, I got it from Evelyn's cell. You were real bad, and she said it would help you. But I gave her some first to make sure it wouldn't hurt you.
Well, something certainly helped.
Honestly, Mrs. M, the stuff the doctor gave you didn't do no good at all. You only got better when you had heavy stuff.
Has it been used on anyone else?
No. I offered to treat everyone who was sick. But as usual, orthodox medicine wouldn't give it a chance.
Why don't they try it, Mrs. M? There are so many sick people.
What'd you do with what was left over, Doreen?
Oh, it's gone.
Oh, you couldn't have used very much. Where's the rest of it?
I chucked it away.
You did what?
Well, I chucked it out. You see, I heard the doctor saying that Mrs. Morris was real critical, and I thought, well, I don't know, I thought maybe I'd poisoned her. So I flushed it down the loo.
Oh, Dor, what a stupid thing to do. What about all them other sick people?
Oh, well. Doesn't matter, I suppose. I can make some more. It'll just take time, that's all.
Where are you going to get the stuff from?
Ah. Well, that's why this is such a wonderful way of treating people. You see, we don't need a chemist. All the stuff's growing right there in the prison garden.
It just doesn't make sense. I've been exposed as much as Meg, and so far I'm fine.
It's a bit peculiar, isn't it, the people that are getting it? It doesn't seem to be spreading from person to person the way you'd expect.
I just wish I felt more confident that the doctor knew what he was doing.
Oh, come on, Vera. Look how much better Meg is. It's only a matter of time before the others start getting better as well.
Oh, I don't know. I just wish it were over. It's a terrible feeling being stuck in here, knowing it could strike at any time.
You're not feeling sick, are you?
No, but it could happen. It could happen to any of us.
I think you're worrying too much. If we haven't got it by now, I'd say we'd be immune or something. Come on, Vera, relax. I'm sure the worst is over. Dr. Granger knows what he's doing.
Well, it's good to see you looking so much better, Meg. You were very sick.
Yes, whatever it is, it's nasty.
Well, it all came on so suddenly. One minute you were fine
You're
and...
not feeling sick, are you?
No. So far I'm fine. I'm just a little tired.
You look a little bit peaky to me, Miss Bennett.
I'm not interested in your opinion, Birdsworth. I'm talking to Mrs. Morris, not you. From what I've heard, Dr. Granger still doesn't know what disease it is, but at least his treatment's working.
Well, I'm not sure that it is.
Oh, don't be so negative, Meg. You're looking fine. You'll be up in a day or so.
That's not what I mean. I know I'm feeling better, but I don't know that it was the doctor's treatment that did it.
It wasn't. I'm just trying to tell you why Mrs. M got better, and it had nothing to do with the doctor.
And what would you know about it, Birdsworth?
Well, I was here, wasn't I? And she didn't start to get better until she had that other stuff.